Well, what a glorious Christmas Eve to do some little last minute shopping. We're here in London and just look at this weather. Absolutely lovely. And then we've got, oh crikey, this is where we came from. You see the station there? There we are, there's the station. That's the bit I missed out of last video, so there we go. But you can't beat better than coming to a Waitrose on Christmas Eve in the glorious sun. Look at this sky, and there's no chemtrails and nothing to keep the old conspiracy theorists busy. Right everybody, come on, let's have a sing-song, because we're off to Baker Street. I know, couldn't get any worse than that, could it? Sorry, I'll leave now. Exit stage left. Just thought you might like a quick view of an all the way through tube train. Just one mad long carriage. And just to prove we're on the train, there's part of London going by. Well, outer London. While I was down in London on this occasion, I was brought along to Westminster to meet some members of the cabinet, and we're just waiting to actually have a chat with the Home Secretary and someone here called Mr. Dopey, and of course there's the Speaker of the somewhere or other, and just really demonstrating that it's lovely weather. What a Christmas Eve this has been. Just look at that sky, beautiful. There you are, told you we'd get to Baker Street eventually. There you go, an unemployed tube train. It actually stops at Baker Street, and it's just a little bit outside, as you can see, in Baker Street, and then the underground is on that side, for those of you who are not familiar with how the underground works. Right, way out. They used to have an exit, but they got rid of the exit and changed it to way out. Off we go to platform 5. There we are, the famous Baker Street station. Just looks like any other station, really. And then we go down to the way we're going, which is where we're heading to, Liverpool Street, which I've not been to for about 25-30 years. Oh, isn't this so exciting? I bet you're wetting yourselves, folks. This is brilliant, eh? Let's not say you don't get a bit of education with my nonsense here. Look, there's even a memorial to the Metropolitan Railway Company here. This is, as I say, Baker Street, and it's actually is one of the original stations on the underground, and that's the reason it's all sort of very, as you can see, very traditionally archy. And oh look, they've got a way out. Hey, so I know I'm being chucked. And then as we go that way, as we pass by my dear pal Mark, it's all dark and dull. And there's a train now, tube train, obeying the instructions, using its dipped headlights. No headlights here, you know. There we go. That's what a tube looks like, folks. A London tube full of peoples and other things. And we've got to mind the gap. And as you can see, single yellow lines, so you can only park during certain hours. Right, let's get on them. Oh, we're going to fight to get on here now because we've got places to go. Well, look at this. We got to Liverpool Street and it's closed. We can't get out. Well, we can really, but I just wanted to show you what a closed station would look like. Can you see through the what's it? There it is. They're all closed. And we've come out of Liverpool Street and Lord Aberconway, and look what I've just found. The famous NatWest Tower. And it is big. Take it from me. We're going to be climbing up the outside of it later on. Actually, we're not. No, we're not. And by the railway travel, I've just been explaining this. Look at the lovely balls, silver balls. My dear best friend Mark has just been telling me that this particular building here he used to work in, and it held very security type of stuff on the first floor, but underneath they put, believe it or not, a baggage place. So while everything was always secure there, they're bulletproof windows, you see, but they didn't tell anyone that the floor wasn't exactly, well, you know, I can't say the word bomb, so I won't use it. And there's the old Liverpool Street station itself, the original and the best. Very stationary, as you can see. I'm only getting a bit excited because I've not been here for ages. I mean, some of these buildings weren't here when I was here last. That's how long since I've been here. And we're just going to have a quick look up the steps here because there's a little statue that's actually, we'll just pause for a second. No, I was busy pausing for a second, but the station's closed. And just inside you can probably see there's a little commemoration for the Kinder transport during World War II. And there you have it. To those that haven't been to London, yeah, as Mark's just said, flaming freezing, but you wouldn't believe that this is London because look at this, folks. Actually, I'm kidding you, it's actually Oldham. There's still some nice, it's become Daz and Daz or something, but nice bit of old London. Look at that proper architecture among all the Leviathans. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, and there, that's a bus. I'm still looking for a Boris bus, but that's just an ordinary bus. Number 26, if anybody needs to know where the 26 goes. And then we've got just more. So this is the other side of Liverpool Station. And we can see it's just, well, it's just like anywhere, I suppose. Let's stop this now. And this is the Bishopsgate Police Station, where very convenient to the financial centre because all your Liam Neesons can come here without having to take a taxi. And they can get put behind bars for swindling their cryptocurrency. And there you are, just to prove it, there's the police cars. Well, like anywhere. And there's the RBS or headquarters or whatever, and some more big buildings. Oh help, I'm getting big building-itis here. And my dearest friend Mark is getting very annoyed with me, so I'll stop. Well, I've just learned something new. There's a separate police force for the financial district called City of London Police, and not the Met. So there you go now. You see, we learn something new every day when you listen to a learned person, don't you? There's a name you couldn't make up, Catherine Wheel. And of course, Catherine Wheel, nothing to do with Guy Fawkes. It's actually Billy Wheel's wife. And we're just having a look down. Oh, look at that ferry. Oh, well, no, I think we'll give that a miss. There we are, play on names. We've discovered my play on names. Eat Alley, which presumably is Eat Italy. So there you are, that keeps all my fancy name fans happy. And this is Dirty Dick's. Presumably a lot of people in there come straight out of the loo, having not washed their hands. And we've just found the famous Petticoat Lane. I'm like being a tourist here. Well, in fairness, I am a tourist. And there we are, mobile. Oh, look, little hutchky place where you can get your cigarettes, cigars, or your drinks. And of course, yes, we have to have it. If we don't have it for people like me, vapes. Not that I smoke. There we go. And you get calling cards. Oh, you can leave your name in a phone box if you can find a phone box. Everybody was kung fu fighting. No, I'll stop singing. Yes, I'll stop. Oh, City of London cigars. Wow. Do people still smoke those things? Yeah. We've just discovered some Wild Farm pizza dough stuff. Oh, this used to be a very thriving market area when I was a little boy back in the 1700s, and a support group for the police. I don't know if it's their backing musicians or whatever, but it's a support group for them anyway. You see, if we were in Chinatown, this would be the Flying Pan Alley. Sorry, anybody from China, not really taking the urine on purpose. The news of the kingdom. No, I'll leave it at that. Yes, as Mark's just said, we're going down Harry Potter's world, complete with green bin. What a narrow alley. Yes, absolutely. Anyway, we'll leave it at that again at this bit. Oh, and a bit of wholesome graffiti just to keep us going. There's an unusual thing for you. You know my penchant for architecture. They seem to have preserved the front, which presumably has a preservation order, and they, because it's Gun Street, they couldn't get shot of it. Do you get shot? Oh, never mind, please yourselves. And it seems we're coming up now to the elephant store where you can buy a real elephant. I don't know how you get it home on the tubes, but we'll go and have a look, shall we? And there at the end is the famous Whitechapel, hence the name Whitechapel, which is where we are. And here we've got a little Nelly the elephant sitting opposite another Nelly the elephant who's sitting down. And this is a new one on me, Amazon Salon. Well, with my hairstyle, I don't think I particularly need it. And I ain't getting my nails done. I've just been informed by somebody in the know, namely my best pal Mark, who just happens to live in London. This is the old Spitalfields market. It's actually called Spitalfields, but I haven't actually seen that it is, but I just suddenly remembered it or whatever, so there we go. There we are. I've just been pointed out by Mark. There's Spitalfields to prove this is it. One little final elephant, but there we are. We've got a goat over there. No idea what that's all about. Just approaching our chauffeur to take us home. It's Mr. Dog and Mr. Whoever, or Mrs. Rabbit. I don't know what that is anyway. And we're going to have a little bit of refreshment now, which is wee oldies way of saying, have you got a toilet, please? And there we are, seeing we're in the city. We've just seen the top of the Gherkin, and there it is. The Gherkin's a building, by the way, and not a jar of stuff from Mrs. Ellswood. Just seeing a Harley non-Davidson there. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? In the middle of everything, there's the old fire brigade headquarters. 1885, no less. There we are, we finally got an admission. Look, piercing, tattoo, and welding studio. Haven't I always said that it's like people having old Titanic rivets through their nose, which is the only way you can become a social influenza, of course. Astrid and Mayo. Ooh, I don't know who that is. And it's the old Spitalfields market, which is now the new one. And as my best pal has just said, it's very gentrified, isn't it? Look at this. Not like the old days with all the fish stalls. There we are, just proving we're at the real Brick Lane. Isn't it wonderful? This is great. And I thought he was out of order, but it seems that Hanbury does work. Sorry. Now, we're in a square here near the old Truman's Brewery, which I'll just spin round quickly. There's a corner of it there. And I've just been informed by somebody in the know that the reason this little wreck thing here is all covered is it's an old car that's allegedly painted by Banksy. So there you are. So it's worth £83 million for absolutely bugger all. Anyway, sorry Mr. Banksy. Yeah, and I don't know what this down here is. Ah, there we are. It's called Eli's Yard, and we're going to try and find Eli if we can. A very nice fellow, I believe. There we are, just to prove that it is the Truman Brewery area we're in, so I'm not making this up as I go along like I normally do. Well, we've arrived at the famous Brick Lane. We're here. And, well, it's a lane. Well, what do you expect? I mean, it's not that wide, so it's a lane. And we're going to find a lovely curry house now in a moment, because it's turned into curry heaven, whereas it used to be all these bagel and lox shops many years ago. I've not been here for, crikey, at least 143 years, so let's go and see what we can find. And there's me, just a quick one, the best mate Mark on the right and his son Morgan, and we're going to eat. Now, while we've got Curry Bazaar, it doesn't look very bizarre to me, this is the very famous Bengal village that one of the other YouTubers who came for a meal went here, and this is it. And I think this is where we're going. We're going to the most famous one, Best of Brick Lane. We're just looking in, and here we go. This is we're just being welcomed to the famous one by a lovely welcome from a gentleman with a lovely smile. Good afternoon, sir.
How are you, sir?
Looking forward to my curry, thank you.
Oh, you won't be disappointed, young man.
I have a feeling, young, he's calling me young. And there we are, the famous Bengal tiger. This is the real place. We're here. Eat your hearts out, because I'm going to eat my stomach out now. Well, yes, it's the place with the famous metal plates, and we're just having our little poppadomi thingies, and Mark's enjoying himself. He keeps a low profile because he's a very famous pop star. And then we've got, and Morgan's just going to say a quick hello. He doesn't mind a quick hello.
If you look closely, you can see your reflection in the plate.
Oh, there you see.
What a handsome man.
Now, as I said, I'm not talking about the food because everybody does food videos. We had a wonderful curry, but we're going to have a little bit of proof here from my fellow curry eaters. Here we go. Now, we're going to boring talk about curry for a moment.
Kill me. It was spicy.
It was. And
very, very nice. Very spicy, but very good.
Yeah, one of the spiciest, but delicious. Not spicy without flavour, but spicy with flavour.
Lots of flavour.
Yeah, too much flavour.
in other words, not a usual after football curry where they get you 2 pints of lager, a packet of crisps, and loads of stuff sprinkled over it. So there we go. Some live people who have just witnessed a curry in the Bengal here in Brick Lane. And I'm boring you to death, so I'll bugger off now. And we're still down Brick Lane. Rumour has it this is the Dieter's restaurant, but I think I might be pronouncing it incorrectly. And here we have a whole load of delivery people waiting to take the exciting food from Brick Lane to unsuspecting customers. And this is it. Top end of Brick Lane. And we've got a bit of Brick Lane Jami Masjids. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. Wow, that's a bit of a thingy. Isn't it just? Oh, it's the, I'm sorry, I'm being disrespectful, I do apologise. And if you've got Bombay bowls, you can eat here. Oh, sorry, bowls, I'm at it again. Well, we're still, it's end-to-end, wall-to-wall restaurants. And there's everything you could wish for. There's not that French chain, the burger chain, McDonald's, is not here. And we've just discovered, a fair bit of graffitification here. That vote for clowns. Oh yes, they're already in power, aren't they? I think. In fact, I'm sure they are, aren't they? They're still in power, aren't they? Vote for clowns. Maybe they're not. And then on Brick Lane, we come to this rather established building, for want of a better word, and the door up there, which is quite nice. And I don't know if we'll get to see what's on here, will we? No, it's too small. I can read Christ Church, Middlesex, 1873. And there we are, double misspelling. Look at this, we've got cuts by trends. I bet you're happy. And this said free cash withdrawals. I've just tried it, but if you take cash out, it removes the cash from your bank account, so it can't be free. There you are, I bet you never knew Ben & Jerry's had been captured. This is a new one they're starting now. Free Ben & Jerry's, free Ben & Jerry's. Anybody got any free plasticine? I didn't say that, And there we are. Thanks for visiting. Well, it's my pleasure. And here's my medical centre where they're proudly saying, oh, look, he's a healthy one. Healthy one, do you get it? Oh, never mind, please yourself. And there we are. You can't get more Bricky Lane than number 1 Brick Lane, can you? And there's an interesting surviving pub called the Buxton. Nothing to do with Derbyshire, I might add. Oh, and there's a nice little BMW sort of £3,000 car, not, with a smart car behind, or maybe that's just been taken out the boot of the BMW, I don't know. And a bit of Brick Lane graffiti, just to show that we're on the graffiti front. And as we walk down here, a little bit more street art, as they say. All very great, lovely pictures. Mark admiring and also Morgan admiring the wonderful graffiti. Oh, and there we are, a genuine Boris bus with the lumpy bit at the back. There we are, we've seen that. And we're back on Whitechapel now with all these wonderful big buildings. This has got us all confused because KFC down there. Well, if that's the way, fair enough, okay. Yeah, well, just to prove we're at Whitechapel. That's the government building of some description. We've come to Speed High Walk, which is the Barbican Centre, this is it, the Barbican Centre. Not too sure what's ahead, but we're off to try and find what's going on. Oh look, nice little festive lights there in the Guildhall School of Music, which is just there. This is just so you can see the innards of this Speed House. It's quite an impressive looking building aimed at middle to upper class. It's a dress only more than anything else. Not a dress as in one you put on like Sam Smith, but an actual address with a nice little garden. Oh, quite interesting. And the Guildhall School of Music and Drama, which dominates the nearby. Just to give you a little bit of an impression of the size, it's quite big, to say the least. Interesting tiles on the walk as we walk through the walkway. And
you never really get any vagrancy here, or like homeless people, despite you can easily access.
It's too bloody cold.
It is. There is a wind. There is a wind. They're quite right. There is a wind like I've never had, and it's nothing to do with the curry we've just eaten either. We're just following the yellow brick road. I've just been informed by somebody in the know that a lot of Star Wars internals have been filmed here. I don't know who this chap is with his feet on the end of his hands. We'll ask no questions and get told no lies, I think. And it would seem Her Majesty the Queen was accompanied by His Royal Highness Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. I don't know exactly how many locals he may have insulted. May the Lord rest his dear innocent soul. I have to say the innards of this Barbican Centre and Speed House is quite, well, interesting, I think you'll agree. And there's the other side, and no, it's not the Thames, it's just a nice little pool. Yes, you're in inner London, folks, believe it or not. And no one around, how lovely. And there we are, I'm proving it. Look, the Barbican Centre, it says so. And no, I have no idea what that is. And there's some crates. Crate fun. Sorry, no, the metal things, that's artwork, folks. Just thought I'd let you know. And the Barbican Library, a legend in its own lunchtime. So this is just a quick trip into the Barbican. This is the Barbican open space sort of thingy with the theatre and some bars and bits and pieces and people working away, nursing a cup of coffee for most of the day just to have somewhere in the warmth, and a little restaurant. And the Royal Shakespeare Company putting on Twelfth Night. So prepare to defy gravity. Anyone with vertigo, please don't look up. This is outside the Barbican Centre. This is a very famous thing outside the Barbican Centre. And there we are, that's where we've just been. The Barbican Centre. It's a huge venue, the Barbican Centre, and how they managed to run so many things in there with no charge is beyond me, but it shows, I suppose, it can be done. It is just enormous. Interesting to go and see because I've never seen it in all these years. And there's some more of the accommodation and the City of London, and this is the famous underpass that goes under the Barbican. And there we are, just proving we're at Barbican. You don't see this often in London. Look, nobody waiting for the train. Nobody. And a little bit of architecture up there, little, don't know what that's all about, but still very interesting. And here's our train, isn't that magnificent? Just came down to the station and the train has arrived. So we'll get it. See you on the other side. Los Mocha. Nice and gift wrapped with the Elizabethan line and the balls again. A little bit of fashion land here, all the usual suspects. Watches of Switzerland. Made in China. I never said that. And Tommy Hilfiger. Oh, say no more. Very interesting. All glass and what have you. But there is a nice bit of traditional, good old-fashioned London architecture there just to keep you happy. And the lower floor. Oh, and look, my favourite word. Look, wellness. Oh, I love wellness, me. And the Smiths still working there. W.H. Smith's not been changed. For the record, it's called Broadgate Central. Can I make a cheap joke about grind? Maybe I won't. So it used to be an ice skating rink, it seemed as. Oh, this is all very imposing. Gosh. And a quick view from behind as we leave. And the UBS building and something. Oh, this is very exciting. Well, if you're excited by things that suddenly appear, and then a red building over here. I really do think I'm in New York here. Look at this thing. This is central London. Look at the size of it. Frightening. All right, brothers, we must join the sandwich revolution. To get into Broadgate Central, that is. My dearest friend has just said I should make a joke about tossed food to make you feel good, but I won't because there's children around and it's before the watershed. And there's the back of the UBS building, isn't it? Frighteningly sort of metal-y sort of stuff. And then Broadgate itself. It's just surrounded by all this high-rise stuff. It's just remarkable. For a little simple lad like me from Manchester. Very interesting, if you like that sort of thing. Yes, Sunday in the centre of London is very, very spooky. It's wonderful. There are no traffic, no people. We've got the place to ourselves. Trouble is, you want a cup of coffee and you've got to want it. End of story. And the exterior of that building is quite interesting. I mean, come off it now, reimagined. How can you reimagine an office space? It's just a blooming office. Oh, bingo with a pulse. That means presumably the people going to bingo are absolutely living. I don't know. Hi, Jingo. A bingo club. Oh, oh. The big question on everybody's lips is how that graffiti was actually managed. Was it cherry-picked or laddered, or somebody hanging down? We will never know. We thought we'd find a Banksy, or Banksy should I say, but it seems to be something about DSR, so maybe it's not. A lovely Christmas tree of cameras. You do have to wonder how they managed to graffitiize all that, don't you? Yes, I'm not going to say that out loud, but I wonder what that has a connection with the good Lord, but never mind. We've arrived at our destination, but I can't resist. Look at that for a lovely building. 1883. And these little corners here, just fabulous. And yes, it's been one eating holiday. We're at Flatiron today. Oh, they switched the lights on for me. This is Flatiron. It's full of greenery and stuff. And here's all my best mate Mark and his son Ryan. Well, here we are. We're at Flatiron. So we're going to get flat ironed now. Well, I know I never do food things normally, but we've come to a place called Flatiron, and I'm having a Wagyu steak. Eat your hearts out, folks. And this is it, and the decor, and some lovely guests I'm with. And there's my best mate digging into the steak straight away. And here it is, look, a lovely Wagyu sirloin steak with beef dripping chips and a little bit of cream spinach over there. Right, I'll stop because I'm going to eat and I don't do food things. So there we go, let's stop. And there we are, a little bit more of the old architecture in the area. And look, Gherkin ahoy. Gherkin ahoy. There it is, the famous Gherkin. And here's the actual entry in Bishopsgate and Broadgate Tower to the City of London. And there we are, look at that, isn't that lovely? Got a bit of metalwork there. And a bus. And for anyone thinking we're in Berlin, it could well be, you know. Oh, sitting on the police box in the middle. Nice bit of artwork appearing. Again, as my best mate has pointed out, you are here. How do they know that I'm here? This is just wonderful. A bit more gherkin just there to keep in gherkinization here. And I know I keep gherkinizating all the time, but there it is, in its glory. And in the center of all the financials is this called the Bishopsgate Institute. Just look at that. Isn't that beautiful? How wonderful. And a lot of city police Ecolop vans. Let's see Doctor Who contend with this one. Blimey, I think Doctor Who must be extremely thin. What's it say? It was free for public use, but no longer is. Oh dear. Sorry, Doctor Who. There we are, just outside Liverpool Street Station. Well, on our trip home back to Manchester, we stopped at Milton Keynes Central. Yes, Central. Whether we like it or not, because there is a bus replacement service, or is it a train replacement service? I get very confused. So so this is Milton Keynes Central, which I've not been to for years. And we'll just leave it at that. Onwards and forwards to Manchester, eh? Yeah, a nice queue for some buses. Oh look, rail replacement on the front of that orange thing. Of course, they haven't quite worked out, despite going back to all the days of Stevenson, they haven't worked out that travellers on Intercity all have sort of things called, luggage with them. And needless to say, not enough room for all the luggage, but never mind. Onwards and forwards. I have to be honest, I've always wondered why, when there's a rail replacement service or the bus replacement service for rail, why there's never a rail replacement service for buses? Or is that just too fanciful an idea? Yeah, just me being mad. Right, onwards and forwards to Manchester, back home. And of course, needless to say, it wouldn't be the same without a queue, of course. Some place called Unity Place that's showing off a certain bank and a you, whoever you is. Maybe it's me, I don't know. Could well be. But yes, we'll just patiently wait in the queue because, in theory, the train won't go without me. I just realised as I was tootling around and editing the video, I forgot to thank you very much for joining me on my second part of my two-part trip to London. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me. And as I always say, do keep well until next time. And if you catch this before the new year, have a bloomin' fabulous new year and a great 2026 ahead. I'll see you during the year at the different places I go around to litter with my considerable frame.